Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to remove the differential cover and remove all the fluid and change it. This is a 2008 Dodge Ram, but this procedure is the same for many vehicles. You'll need a drain pan, 13mm socket and ratchet for this, small pry bar, razor blade or scraper tool, wire brush, pick, brake cleaner or some other solvent, a gasket maker or sealer, torque wrench, flat blade screwdriver, and new differential fluid appropriate for your vehicle.
Your rear differential is located in the center of the rear axle under the truck. Remove these 13mm bolts to take off the diff cover. You can do this with a 3/8 ratchet, but we're going to use an air gun. Loosen the top bolts without removing. You can pry back the bottom of the cover, let the fluid drain out. It's always a good idea to inspect the fluid. Make sure there's no type of grit or any signs of metallic shavings or metal pieces in it. When the fluid's done draining, finish removing your upper bolts, take the cover off. Scrape down all the old gasket material from both the axle side and the back of the differential cover. You can use a razor blade by itself, one of these scrapers. They make specific gasket scrapers or basically anything that'll remove this gunk without scoring up the metal face. Once you've removed the bulk of your gasket with a razor blade, you can use a wire brush to remove the remainder of the gasket. If gasket sealer has built up in any of the thread holes, you can use a paper clip or a straight pick to clean them out. Remove any remaining gasket sealer from the threads of your bolts with a small wire brush. As you can see, they don't have to be perfectly clean as long as you get the majority of the old sealer off. Make sure those threads go in nice and smooth. Prep the mating surface with some brake clean and a clean paper towel. You don't want to use a rag or an old t-shirt for this job because the fibers can get stuck, create imperfections in the seal. Be sure the surface is completely free of oils and greases before trying to seal. When the diff cover has been cleared of all oils, greases, and the remains of gasket sealer, the same way we removed it from our differential on the axle, go ahead and use your favorite gear oil approved sealant to make a gasket on your differential cover. Be sure not to use too much, otherwise you risk letting it go over inside of the gear housing. Spread it out evenly across the surface with the tip of your finger and a glove. Being sure to get it over both sides of each bolt hole without actually covering the hole completely. This will ensure that we don't force too much of the gasket out on either side, make it look nice and clean when it goes back on. Make one last quick check that your differential on the axle is free of greases and oils. Install the bump on the cover over your ring gear. Get a couple of bolts installed around the cover by hand. Bring them right down finger tight so it doesn't move. Time is a factor with a make your own gasket or a liquid gasket like this. So you want to ensure that all your bolts are in before the gasket dries. Otherwise you risk it gumming up the threads and not letting a bolt in. Once all your bolts are in, finger tight, refer to the directions on the gasket sealer you used and allow the required amount of time for the gasket to set up before tightening. After you've allowed a few minutes for your gasket sealer to set up, you'll want to torque all your differential cover bolts to 30 foot-pounds. You want to use some kind of cross pattern. It's not too specific. Just make sure you don't clamp down one side at a time and risk pinching the gasket. Put one more loop around to make sure you didn't miss any bolts. And allow the gasket sealant to dry completely before filling your fluid. For most sealants, this is about 15 to 20 minutes, but be sure to read the directions on your specific bottle. Remove the check fill plug on the back of the differential cover by hand or by carefully prying out with a small flat blade screwdriver. This plug is used both to check the fluid level and to fill. This differential is limited slip, meaning it has clutches that keeps the wheels driving together under load. You'll need to add a special limited slip differential additive before putting your fluid in. In this case, ours uses about 4 ounces, or about half this bottle we have here. Fill the differential with the specific fluid recommended by your manufacturer. Ours is 75 W140 full synthetic oil. To make filling faster and easier, get a hose with the same size as the nozzle on your bottle so you can hold the bottle completely upside down. Our differential takes about 2.2 quarts. Now that there's a little bit of fluid running out the bottom of the check plug, we're good to remove our funnel and reinstall our check fill plug. Reinstall your plug, wipe the excess gear oil from the differential.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope this video helped you out. Next time you need parts for your car, please visit 1aauto.com. Also check out our other helpful how-to as well as diagnosis videos.